Aber und willkommen zurück bei Forgotten City. Wir haben letztes Mal der Lucretia geholfen, die Iulia zu heilen, und die hat uns erzählt, dass sie sich selber umbringen wollte mit dem Gift, was sie bekommen hat. Und jetzt sollen wir einem Freund von ihr auch helfen, der sich auch umbringen will, weil die in im Prinzip Sklaverei reingetrickst worden sind. Und der Freund von ihr, der will in die Schlucht springen, und das sollen wir als möglich verhindern. Ja, sorry. Ich frage, wie wir da hochkommen. Ach, das ist zu. Hm. Kommen wir da irgendwie hoch? Hm. Ist da irgendwie hochklettern oder so? Hm. Scheint nicht so. Hm. Hm.
On your best behavior, I trust.
Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
Wir reden noch mit allen von euch. Gerade habe ich es ein bisschen eilig. Okay. Ja, also ich gehe davon aus, dass der schon gesprungen ist. Aber wir können es ja wieder versuchen. Hm. Okay. Oh, nee, er lebt noch.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the golden rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Jo, ich muss tatsächlich ziemlich dringend mit Ulpius reden.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Ach, komm schon.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Jo. In Ordnung, dann rede ich mal mit ihm.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Ulpius, können wir reden?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
Nee. Ich wollte jetzt eigentlich Iulia irgendwie ins Spiel bringen, aber irgendwie kann ich es noch nicht. Ich weiß nicht, ob er hier sofort springt, aber... probieren wir es mal. Nein, ich finde, ihr solltet das Recht haben zu sterben, wenn ihr zu sehr leidet.
I'm no coward. I intend to go through with it.
Ich denke einfach, dass es Gründe gibt, am Leben zu bleiben.
Like what? I'm stuck slaving away for that culus cumulatis for the rest of my life. What do I have to live for?
Vielleicht könnten wir Freunde sein.
You're just saying that to buy time. You must think I'm an idiot. I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
Sein Selbstmord hat die goldene Regel nicht gebrochen.
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Was passiert
I'll
jetzt?
have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Okay, so also war er der... Das war er der Freund von, der Tochter vom Gouverneur sozusagen. Folg ihm, okay. Also ich dachte ja zwischenzeitlich, dass die das Falsche sagen. Aber es hat ja dafür gesorgt, dass ich Iulia im zweiten Durchlauf retten konnte. Also mache ich das einfach mal. Bye bye. Klatsch. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Yes. Thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored.
Okay. So kommen wir in die Villa.
And now I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens, and
Nachricht von Iulia. Iulia und ihre Geiselnehmer Malleolus und Claudia. Verflucht sollt ihr sein. Wenn ihr das hier lest, werde ich bereits tot sein. Der Tod ist weniger schlimm als ein weiterer Tag in eurer Schuldknechtschaft. Mögen die Geier im Tartaros auf ewig eure Eingeweide fressen. Verständlich. Leere Flasche, da war wahrscheinlich der Schierling drin. Da stand eine Flasche für Schierling zu sein. Ein tödliches Gift, sie riecht modrig wie Mäuseurin. Wer weiß spontan, wie Mäuseurin riecht? Ich hinterfrage das einfach mal nicht. Okay. Nachricht von Ulpius. Ulpius an seine verlorene Liebe, möge Gott über dich wachen. Bitte wisse, dass ich so lange durchgehalten habe, wie ich konnte, aber ohne dich ist mein Leben sinnlos. Ich hoffe nur, wir sehen uns im Garten Eden wieder. Ich weiß nicht genau, ob man... Was im Garten Eden? Heißt Ulpius ist ein Christ? Okay, interessant. Ich weiß nicht genau, wie viel Zeit wir haben, wenn wir halt es nicht verkacken, so wie vorher. Von daher, den lasse ich mal lieber in Ruhe, falls er mich rauswerfen will, falls ich mit ihm rede. Also gucken wir uns erstmal oben um. So. Mal gucken, was wir rausfinden können, wenn wir schon hier sind. Hier verschlossen, okay. Lararium, was ist das? Ein kleiner Hausschrein, in dem die alten Römer täglich um Schutz gebetet haben. Okay. Okay. Eine Skulptur von Ares, dem griechischen Gott des Krieges. Unter den Römern als Mars bekannt. Okay. Wer war das? Eine Skulptur von Minerva, der römischen Göttin der Strategie. Genau das gleiche, okay. Hier noch irgendwas? Irgendwas? Nee. Nee. Hier war ich schon. Okay, jetzt bin ich einmal drumrum. Dann reden wir jetzt mal mit ihm. Das wird dieser...
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
Das ist eure Geschichte.
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
Und was werdet ihr unternehmen, wenn ihr gewinnen solltet?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius' tyranny.
Und wie wollt ihr das tun?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
Die goldene Regel ist definitiv real. Ich habe es ja mittlerweile sogar erlebt.
Nonsense. There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Also da er schon nicht dran glaubt, wird er auch nicht drauf hören, wenn ich ihm sage, was wäre, wenn und so weiter. Wenn ich ihm sage, dass ich immer wieder das Gleiche erlebe, kriegt er entweder nach einem Beweis oder er glaubt mir einfach straight nicht. Also frage ich erstmal nach. Im Zweifelsfall ist besser, Fragen zu stellen. Was ist nötig, um euch zu beweisen, dass sie echt ist? Bücher oder Notizen?
Surely you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
Ja, hat er recht. Ja, dann sagt man einfach mal die Wahrheit. Ich erlebe denselben Tag wieder und wieder. Die goldene Regel wird jedes Mal gebrochen.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius' machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
Ja, okay, also full-blown Politiker hat seine Meinung und wird sie auch nicht mehr ändern. Also der hat zu Schluss abgefahren.
But that is simply because you are mistaken.
Okay. Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
Ich weiß, was er von der goldenen Regel hält, aber der Vollständigkeit halber fragt man
You
mal.
mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
Ja,
I
bye.
trust you can see yourself out.
Hm?
Through the door this time? There's a key just beside it.
Okay. Ich gucke noch mal kurz hier rein, ob ich irgendwas übersehen habe, aber ich glaube, hier unten... Ich meine, der Körper hier unten ist schon mal interessant. Und der ist nicht aus Gold. Und auch noch nicht komplett zersetzt. Und ich meine, der liegt im Wasser, also... das heißt, der hat wahrscheinlich jemand abgemurkst, aber... Die Frage ist sowieso, warum ist hier das Loch im Boden? Okay, hier ist der Schlüssel. Nehmen. Kann ich mit dem auch das da oben aufschließen? Warte, wo die Treppe hier oben? Und da war dann noch eine geschlossene Tür. Ja. Ja. Ist das Claudia?
I'm not supposed to be in here.
Können wir reden?
Talk. What business could you possibly have with me?
Kamera ist halt ein bisschen mad, aber naja. Warum seid ihr in diesen Raum eingesperrt?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ja, dann wer seid ihr so?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave.
Ich?
I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry up and leave.
Witzig. Okay.
Finally! This is outrageous.
Na gut, dann gehen wir hier mal raus.
Still here?
Schon. Er hat mich ja nicht direkt rausgeschmissen, er hat mir nur gezeigt, wo die Tür ist. Und wo der Schlüssel ist. Deswegen, ich weiß nicht, wenn es das nächste Mal hier reinkommt, deswegen schaue ich mich noch um. Ja, okay, ist aber nichts hier. Okay, dann gehen wir mal hier raus. Ja, ich gehe schon. Okay, und hier waren wir vorher. Okay. Reden wir kurz noch.
How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirkus? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
Ja, ja, alles gut. Ich find's cool, dass sie so drauf reagieren. Ich meine, es macht Sinn, wenn wir da rauskommen und er uns nicht reingelassen hat, dass er irgendwie drauf reagiert, aber ja, finde ich ziemlich gut. Dann gehen wir nochmal zu Iulia, ob die jetzt was zu sagen hat, jetzt wo ihr Freund tot ist.
Oh, it's you again. Is everything all right?
Ja, geht so. Okay, bisher können wir nichts sagen, aber wir reden trotzdem mal mit ihr. Da haben wir das Thema mal durch. Wisst ihr etwas über das Verschwinden von Scintilla?
No. I did hear from Ulpius that she disappeared. It's very sad. She was such a lovely young woman. But I'd been locked in Malleolus's villa for months before she went missing, so I can't help you, I'm afraid. You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life. So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while, until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
Tut mir leid, das zu hören.
Thank you.
Sagt ihr
To
aber.
be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
Ich verstehe. Ist schon wieder so eine Geschichte, dass sie im Fluss landet, wegen dem, ich glaube sogar wegen dem gleichen Feuer wahrscheinlich. Und hier angespült worden ist. Also es scheint, soweit wir wissen, allen hier passiert zu sein. Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
That's your idea of a joke. It's not funny.
Ja.
Go away.
Jo. Kann ich jetzt nochmal mit dir reden?
I know what kind of person you are.
Oh, okay.
Leave.
Habt ihr was Neues?
Feeling all right?
Ja, nö, okay.
That's a shame.
Die Frage ist...
Greetings and salutations.
Dann würde ich wahrscheinlich den Cycle damit verbringen, einfach mal mit Leuten zu reden. Oder kann ich irgendwo meine... hier kann ich mir eine Mission anschauen. Ja, das mache ich nächstes Mal. Ja, ich will halt nicht zu viele Stränge auf einmal anfangen, sonst komme ich durcheinander und dann wird es schwer, irgendwie die verschiedenen Plotlines zusammenzubringen am Ende. Okay, das ist zusammen mit den beiden hier. So, okay. Dauerhafte Lösung. Herausfinden, wie man Ulpius davon abhalten kann, sich umzubringen. Frage Ulpius, wie Scintilla seinen Selbstmord finden würde. Jo, das geht mit dem ganz gut zusammen. Gelebte Demokratie finde einen Weg, Malleolus aus der Wahl aussteigen zu lassen. Naja, ich habe ja die Leiche eigentlich in dem Becken in der Mitte gesehen, aber bisher sagt mir das noch nichts. Vielleicht muss ich da irgendwie noch mehr Hinweise finden und dann nochmal da reinspringen. Okay. Ah ja, dann würde ich... Ah, okay, der hat sogar noch seine Klamotten an. Das war aber bei den anderen anders. Die anderen, da waren die Klamotten auch vergoldet. Und der schaut mich an, oder? Ja, ja. Ich würde sagen, dann reden wir jetzt mal mit den Händlern hier auf dem Platz. Und gucken, ob wir noch was rausfinden.
Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
Ich komme von jenseits der euch bekannten Welt. Das ist ja nicht mal gelogen.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Immer. Was ist eure Geschichte?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Warum hier eine Schneiderei
You
eröffnen?
mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Ja, mehr oder weniger.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Ja, klingt erstmal logisch, ja. Ja.
Oh, and there is another reason too.
Hä?
If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
Ja, hat er auch recht. Erinnert mich so ein bisschen an Zorro von One Piece, als er auf dem Kandelaber drauf steht. Jo. Wie seid ihr hier gelandet?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Ich gehe mal davon aus, er ist irgendwie in einem Fluss gelandet und hier drin aufgewacht.
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares. And drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
Mhm. Also wieder der Fluss, ja. Ihr seid also den Tiber
Indeed.
hinuntergeschwommen.
I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
What? Okay, das heißt, ich bin mir gerade ziemlich sicher, dass Karen nicht einfach nur irgendein Mensch ist, der da zufällig war, sondern irgendeine Art von Gott oder so. Die da einfach die Fremden ständig aus dem Fluss zieht.
Anything you like. Shh. Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Ich will nur hier raus. Habe ich was Falsches gesagt?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
Nee.
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Dann erzähl mal.
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Jo, lässt sich machen. Ja, gut, warum? Ja, gut, wenn er schon sagt, dann hat es ja wahrscheinlich schon jemand versucht.
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Okay, merci, danke. Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Warum sagt ihr das?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth, so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks, and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands, until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
Und was können wir dagegen tun?
If we are to survive, I say we must each keep the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
Was ja bei uns tatsächlich die goldene Regel ist. So. Das klingt recht einfach.
Doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
Habe ich tatsächlich... wobei, ja, habe ich doch. Ich war sogar selber dran schuld.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing. Do they not?
So, deswegen hatte der eine die Tunika an. Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Maleonus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Okay. Kann ich euch irgendwie umstimmen?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
Hm. Ja, das heißt, es könnte sein, dass Domitius irgendwie durchdreht, ihm eine reinhaut oder so.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Mhm. Darf ich hier rein? Also. Gibt's hier irgendwas, warum ich hier rein will? Hier gibt's auch Denaris. Aber wenn ich die stehle, geht wahrscheinlich wieder der Alarm los. Die haben alle ein bisschen komische Haltung. So, kann mich nicht dran gewöhnen. Die schaut mich an, der schaut mich an, sie schaut mich nicht an. Spannend. Mhm.
Greetings and salutations.
Rein? Ne, hier ist so, okay.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
Ja, klingt, das hat da so einen deutschen Akzent.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. I hear we have you to thank for saving Iulia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did.
Das ist eure Geschichte.
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people. That kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Ja, erzählt mir was über die Stadt.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Okay, was bedeutet das? Oh, nee, hier. Ist das nicht üblich, dass die Römer griechische Kunst und Architektur nachbilden?
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
Was über die Architektur der Stadt.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake and allows us to fish and farm.
Wenn sie Wasser in die Stadt bringen, könnten wir sie zur Flucht benutzen.
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Wir vom Tempel auf der Klippe.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, Usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the golden rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know. Of course.
Wie man hier
You
rauskommt.
wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question.
Oft wahrscheinlich.
But I tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the golden rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
Was meint ihr damit?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Noviomagus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
Ja, so Norwegen. Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
Ja, ich glaube schon.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
Wie stürzt man einen Gott?
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Mir ist das Graffiti aufgefallen. Was bedeutet das?
Oh, it means someone thinks I'm a sinner and that I'm going to break the golden rule.
Warum würde jemand das denken?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Okay.
And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
Ja, tut mir leid, das
Nice
zu
of you
hören.
to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Wisst ihr, wer für das Graffiti verantwortlich ist?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Kultisten?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Ich werde der Sache nachgehen.
What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Kann ich euch irgendwie umstimmen?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
Bye!
Nice to talk to you.
Okay. Also, ich gehe mal davon aus, dass diese Kultisten Christen sind. Und wir wissen, dass der gesprungen ist, wahrscheinlich auch ein Christ war. Also wäre das ein ganz guter Ansatzpunkt, um mehr über die rauszufinden. Aber das machen wir dann beim nächsten Mal. Da gucken wir dann weiter, ob man den Submod irgendwie verhindern kann. Und ansonsten, was wir sonst weiter verfolgen können. Das war's für heute. Bis denn. Servus.